Our entire will to receive, in its corrupted form, is called an isha, a woman, and in its corrected form, it's called a gevel, a man, from the Hebrew word hidgabrut, to overcome. And therefore, when we correct ourselves, both men and women, regardless who, we are experiencing, undergoing different states or times. Certain states or times where there are as if times for the better and the other way around. And the relation between Earth, the Moon, and the Sun points at it. We are under the rule, under the control of these three spiritual forces. Spiritual, where their result, their corporeal appearance in this world is as Earth, the Sun, and the Moon. And as a result, what we get is that the Earth, as a result of turning, we have day and night and the 4 seasons of the year. From the Moon we have the month, and from the Sun we have the year. And here we have to understand that the entire matter of the desire to correct the uncorrected will to receive, our uncorrected will to receive, is identified with the moon. With the moon. Will to receive that can't shine itself. It shines only on condition that the sun shines upon it. But when does the sun shine or doesn't shine upon it? When Earth is or isn't in between them. We see all these phases of the moon. When Earth is in between them, then we see an eclipse and so on. So Earth, it symbolizes for us the intentions of a person, the extent to which he has the right intention to be in his will to receive, with the intention in order to bestow on to others. And then what we get is that there are such phenomena in our nature, in our will to receive, in which we cannot perform the correction. And this happens to us once a month, once every lunar cycle, meaning that Earth, it completes its turn from the beginning to the end of the moon. That at the beginning of the moon it's like this, and at the end it's like that. So there's the blessing of the moon, of the beginning of the month. And besides that, because it depends on our intentions, and our intentions, they depend on Earth, like we said, turns out that we have to count our intentions with respect to the 7 weekdays. So it's against Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchut, where the Malchut is already the end of corrections. And therefore, if we've performed the corrections through the Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, by that we correct the Malchut and we sanctify the 7th day, the Shabbat, as a result of that, and so on. Of course, there are many details here, but this is actually how it is. And if we're talking about the correction, then the correction is that we have the period. After the period, we have the 7 clean days. It's all in accordance with the intentions that the Earth symbolizes for us with respect to the moon. And then we can say that the desire which we have performed these corrections upon is a corrected desire with the intention in order to bestow, and we can use it in order to bestow. And therefore, a woman as a symbol in our world, only a corporeal symbol, she is ready for coupling with the male. The male, he symbolizes the upper light, the creator, and the woman symbolizes the will to receive, which is already corrected and ready for it. And then as a result, we beget another part of our soul, meaning as a result of this, it's preferable for a child to be born, meaning the time of a woman's period is actually the time during which the desire is in a state where it can't carry out, it's undergoing corrections, and it's forbidden, therefore, to touch it. Therefore, she's called impure, that she's still undergoing corrections. What's special about it? The desire is revealed as a desire which is opposite to the Creator, especially egoistic, and therefore it's forbidden to come close to it. It's even worse than all other times. But after that, there is the Mikvé, the Jewish ritual bath, where a woman, she bathes in special water. It's either rainwater or groundwater, or the sea. And of course there are many reasons for that too, and everything is of course taken from spirituality. It's according to the corporeal branch that stems from the spiritual root. So what exactly is the act of purification? It's the reception of the light of Chasadim, because water is the light of Chasadim, where the woman is fulfilled with the light of Chasadim, and then inside the light of Chasadim, she can receive the light of Chokhmah. This is the semen that the male secretes, emits. And there are many things here that I don't know how to start telling about it. All of these things, of course, they're told about in the Kabbalistic sources. If we take the books of Shara Mitzvot or Shara Kavanot of the Ari, all of the books of the Kabbalists, there it's told. The truth is, it's really interesting because there's so much depth about it. We are a result of nature, and therefore the wisdom of Kabbalah, it's a wisdom, it's a science about nature. And where do we have both our customs from? The mitzvot, meaning the spiritual corrections that we have to perform. We only need to discern what we do in this world with our bodies, hands, legs, men, women. All of these are customs. The corrections that we make in our intentions with the help of the reforming light, these are the mitzvot, the precepts. And this is what has to do with the days of Nidá, the menstruation, and the days of purity, because it's the blood itself, it's the revelation of the judgments, dinim. Impure blood, dam tameh, dam leida, the blood of birth, dam mitah. There are many judgments, higher lights over which there are no corrections, and therefore this is how they come out of the woman during the time of Nidá, menstruation, and there is blood that comes out during the time of birth. Really, there is a reference to the blood that comes out of the womb. The womb is the place of birth. That's where I receive the semen. That's where I start developing my soul. I'm talking about spirituality. And if I can't do it still, then what comes out is impure blood, the dam of Nidá. And these are still those lights over which I have not the ability to clothe them in the intention in order to bestow, and therefore it's forbidden to use them, to touch them, and so on. It's interesting that inside the woman, inside the womb, on the one hand there's the life that develops, something new and pure, and on the other hand also the impure part. It depends on how we relate to it. What is the womb? The womb is my soul, which I correct, and then I get the higher light in order to bestow, and by that I beget a spiritual partzuf, which is my baby. And therefore, that place, that desire which begets, is the womb. Can you explain what you just said, that the womb is my soul, which I correct, and then I receive the upper light in order to bestow, and so on? Can you explain it so that I'll understand? I can say, but whatever you understand, you understand. The important thing is that you understand correctly. A person's will to receive that corrects itself with the help of the reforming light, with the intention in order to bestow. These words, that's the entire wisdom of Kabbalah, mister. We'll be happy to learn about it, but so we can understand it. The will to receive is that we want to receive. Okay, that's the beginning. The will to receive is our desire. That is our entire nature. It's me, entirely, completely. The desire, the will to enjoy, the desire to live. In the wisdom of Kabbalah, it's called the will to receive. So the wisdom of Kabbalah, it says, you can receive only on condition that your reception will be in favor of others, that you will be as a conduit, as a transition, where you pass the higher light onto others. This way, you don't block the higher light inside you, and then the higher light comes to you, passes through you, and you feel all the abundance that's passing through you. This way, it's possible to reveal. If the abundance, the higher light, reveals, identifies to begin with that you're blocked, meaning that you're not intending on passing it on to others, meaning that you have no love for others, as it says, from love of others to the love of the Creator, then you can also not receive the higher light, because the higher light precedes itself and stops itself before it enters you, in order not to harm you. And therefore, only when we learn from the wisdom of Kabbalah how to connect between us, draw the reforming light upon us, where each one of us will be as a conduit towards others, as a transition for others, then the higher light comes and passes through us onto others, and then we're in a flow, in a kind of a circulation of the higher light within us.